There we go. Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. Thank you, Skype, I guess.
Skype said that?
Skype said that.
Please let them know.
I'm like,
Don't
I don't know
fuck
how
it
people
up.
can't tell. It really shows.
Yeah, it like the moment you started the call, it immediately showed Emma is recording the call.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Star Stories in Life, the podcast where we talk about stars, stories, and life. And today we're going to be talking about the stars. So,
Yes.
let's start with the astrology report, Shinjini.
Yes, absolutely. So today I will be talking about the stars and all the heavenly bodies aspecting each other from the 6th to the 19th of September. We have started to do these forecasts for 2 weeks now because we've been alternating between our stories part of our podcast and our stars part of the podcast. So let's start with Venus. Recently, Venus just entered Leo. It was in Cancer. So before if we were in this, if we were trying to beautify our home right now, it's a little bit on the focus is a little bit on our romance and our relationships, how we feel about ourselves. And we might find ourselves feeling really generous. We might be very dramatic and playful in our relationships. We might also try different things in our relationships when it comes to. So when I say playful, I mean it can be sex. It can be an interesting date. So yeah, we are feeling really creative with ourselves and also in our relationships. So that's like the beginning of the week energy, right? And it will be like this for a couple of weeks. And then the mood kind of changes because Mars goes retrograde in Aries. So Mars has been creating a lot of tensions recently with Mars and Pluto. So if you have been feeling really antsy or like things are not going your way, or you've been having power struggles with people in power, people who control you, people who have power over you, yeah, pretty much blame it on Mars. And it doesn't really get any better with Mars, at least at the moment, because now it's going retrograde. So if you are engaged in any intense physical activity, this would be a time to kind of take a break, slow it down, be a little bit more connected to your body. If anytime you feel that you can't do something, like your body is telling you something, asking you to stop, take rest, then listen to your body, because pushing anything beyond what you can do can really harm you. So be careful about that. However, despite this Mars retrograde, like slowing down, damping energy, the sun is making a beautiful connection with Jupiter. This is one of the most auspicious connections of the year. So I would say, and it's really interesting to me that it's happening right when Mars is going retrograde. So because, you're taking a break, you are not pushing yourself too much, you're kind of taking our time to breathe. So I would say this is also a great time to kind of create, like you are in your creative space right now. As I was saying, Venus is in Leo, Sun is making this connection with Jupiter. I think it's all pointing to the fact that it's time to relax, create, because opportunities are there to do that. If you are a student or if you're thinking of pursuing any kind of studies, higher learning, this is a great time to do that. If you're thinking of traveling for spiritual purposes, great time to do that. Of course, travel with caution because we are still in COVID-19 times. Things are still not back to normal. So if you are traveling, take caution. So yes, a great time to travel, study, relax, create. because opportunities are coming in. Things are really looking up, I would say, especially if you're a student, or if you're a traveler, like your job involves traveling. I think this is so great for your career. This is so great for your job. Teachers, educators, um, 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 spiritual people whose, I would say, business or career is in spirituality. What a great time right now. Such an auspicious time to do things the right way and really spread your message right now. If you're not in any of these fields, still a great time to learn, still a great time to explore, and yes, like really connect to the higher vibrations of your mind. So then the energy changes again a little bit. So this is still this week, right? From the 6th to the 12th. So I'm still talking about this week right now. So now, after Sun is making this beautiful connection with Jupiter, it also makes this connection of tension with Neptune, which could mean that there might be some disappointments when it comes to work, or your relationship with higher learning, or immigration, or things, or people who, like institutions, organizations. There might be some disappointments, like maybe you are applying for something and it might not work out. But however, this is very momentary. It's not like it's going to happen and it's going to consume you or overwhelm you. It's not like that, because Jupiter's position is pretty good and strong, and there are a lot of other placements which I will talk about a little bit later. So they are all supporting all of us, okay? However, there is this like one moment of disappointment, and this is also a very important time to be careful with contracts and any commitments that you are thinking of making. My suggestion is don't do it. Don't make any commitments right now. Don't sign any contracts that will have a long-term impact on your finances or career, or your health. So be very careful with all of those things. Try to delay it, postpone it if you can. I mean, if you absolutely cannot, then of course go through the fine prints, make sure, like double check it, triple check it. But if you can postpone it, I would say postpone it to the next week. Don't do any signing commitments this week. Okay, this is not really an auspicious week to do that. This is just, if I have to like put everything into, like if I have to summarize what the energy is like this week, it's just relax, take a break, opportunities are coming in, time to learn, time to explore, time to do spiritual traveling. Yeah, it's just like that. It's a very chill vibe, I would say. Nothing too serious, nothing that requires a lot of effort, nothing that requires too much speculation or examination, because I don't think that will go well. Just, putting it out there as honestly as I can. But I would say Jupiter is so strong this week. It's going direct in Capricorn, which means that if things were not working out before, because when Jupiter was retrograde, if things felt restricted, if you were feeling frustrated with anything that had to do with work or any business that you were trying to start, things will move. Things will start moving right now. Whatever felt stuck because of, unfortunate events or incidents, things are going to start moving. Things are going to start rolling in your favor. So I think it's so great. It's a really auspicious, fortunate energy this week, just not with any commitment. No commitments, just pursuing, just exploring your opportunities. Pursuing, exploring, checking things out, how they feel, like that, but nothing, like don't commit to anything at the moment. Things will not be very clear. And there might also be disappointments. And I'm thinking this disappointment might be also like, something that you are perceiving it. Maybe it's not a true disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it
Yeah,
might
it's just
actually
not
be
as
good
good
in the
as you
long run.
think it's gonna be, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think the disappointment is also going to be very temporary, because right when we move into the next week, right? Uh, things are looking up, because this new moon is coming in Virgo, and
Uh-huh.
it's such a beautiful connection. Both the sun and the moon are kind of conjunct, like they're together, and they're making this amazing connection with Saturn. Usually connections with Saturn have been hard and stressful
This is
the
true.
last couple of weeks, but this one, like the next week on the 16th, 17th, right? I cannot be exact because it really depends on where you live, but you can check it out on the internet. So around 16th or 17th, there is a new moon in Virgo, and the sun and moon together is making this connection with Saturn. It's just like such a supportive energy. That's what I felt. Like everything in the universe is supporting you into setting your intentions in whatever goals you have, whatever intentions you have, whatever hopes you have about your life, especially when it comes to work and your career, or whatever you think is your place in the world, however you are trying to self-actualize. I think such a great time to do that. Such a great time. Everybody's supporting you. Um, I will get into a little bit. I'll get into the spiritual details of this auspicious connection, but before that, there's something happening
Yeah.
next week, right? Which is Venus is making this not so amazing connection with Uranus. So,
Mm.
what does this mean? It might mean that there might be some surprises that you might not like when it comes to your relationships or your financial situation.
Oh,
Something
fun.
might happen with no fault of yours. I don't know if that makes you feel better or not, but with no fault of yours, something happens that might be like, oh, okay, this is not what I expected. Okay, that was a weird reaction from my partner. Stuff like that that you did not really expect would happen. However, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing, because this might really force you or encourage you to move into a direction that is more comfortable for you, which is good for you, which is healthy for you. Because if you're in a toxic relationship, you might be forced to leave that relationship,
Uh-huh.
you know? So it's not, I don't see it as a bad thing, but just something would really push you to make that decision. And speaking of which, I have been hearing so many breakups. Like, so many of my friends are going through like they are going through such endings, but none of them, like all the friends that I know who went through breakups, none of them ever said, like that was a great relationship and I lost it. Like nobody said that. Everybody's like, yeah, I was already struggling with that relationship and I just had to call it quits and it just
Yeah.
ended. And I feel like there is this like energy of purging. Like we are purging these relationships, these situations that are not working for us anymore. We're just letting them all go. We are leaving them behind. And that was the full moon energy like a week ago that we felt. Like, so if you have been like really crying, or if you went through a breakup, or you left your job, that was like the full moon energy really acting through you. So now we will be, and now that Venus is making this connection with Uranus, I would say that that would like be the lock, the lock on that decision, whether, oh, should I leave this relationship or not? Oh, did I do the right thing by letting that toxic thing go, or do I need it? Like that, I think that clarity will come, because immediately after this difficult connection with Uranus, we are moving into new moon in Virgo, and this auspicious connection that I was talking about, sun and moon, the sun and moon are making with Saturn. So I feel this is such a great time to get connected to your roots, to your ancestors, like
Wow.
visiting your grandparents. Like this will all of these activities will bring so much wisdom into our lives right now because we are surrounded by great auspicious opportunities because of Jupiter, because of the moon, um, because of the sun. So I feel like we must be sensitive to these energies, to these ancestral vibes. Like, I don't really know how it can manifest in your life, but I can give you an example of mine. So, me, I'm a Cancer rising and I'm very, very connected to my roots. I love my culture. I'm a Bengali, I'm from India. I love my language. I love my culture's food. I love everything about my culture. I'm very, very attached to it. And the way I see it playing it out for me is me like listening to Bengali songs, reading a Bengali book, talking to my parents, talking to my family members who are Bengalis, and just really diving into my culture. Like that's where I think that I would find a lot of wisdom. Also, my chart ruler is the moon, so I'm very, very influenced by the moon all the time. So I feel like for me, especially, this will also manifest in my dreams. And I think at this time, for a lot of us, for people who are really sensitive, people who are spiritual, I think we will have dreams, maybe from our ancestors, trying to impart wisdom to us. It can also manifest by, reading about our ancestors. It can also manifest, as I was saying, diving into our culture, listening to our culture's music, tasting our culture's food, and speaking our native language. I think that would really, really infuse us with the pure ancestral wisdom that will really help us to move forward in our lives. Whatever intentions we have, whether that is related to our wisdom or not, whether that is related to spirituality or not, I think connecting to the moon's energy, connecting to Saturn's energy is going to be so, so helpful. So really focus on what dreams you have at this time, which is, I think, around the 16th, 17th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, around this time. Really pay attention to your dreams. Really pay attention to what your elders are telling you. There is a lot of wisdom there. You will be able to use it to your advantage. And you will also be able to recognize opportunities where there are. So keep an eye out, keep your ears open, be spiritually open. There's a lot of good things happening at this moment.
Okay.
So to wrap everything up for these 2 weeks from the 6th to the 19th, so from the 6th to the 12th, the energy is very somber, very, I wouldn't say relaxed, but I would say nothing too intense. Okay. So somber, calm, nothing too intense. Sorry?
Calm, perhaps? Or not really?
Not calm as in like we will feel relaxed. Probably not. We will probably not feel relaxed, but we would have to relax.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
We would have to relax. We would have to make an effort to calm down, relax, take a moment, take a breather through meditation and yoga, if that works for you. And not making any contracts, not signing any contracts, not making any commitment. So just like taking a breather, creating and taking in Jupiter's energy of learning. Then the next week, from the 13th to the 19th, the energy is very, very great to make plans for the future and letting go of toxic relationships. And connecting to your ancestors, to your lineage, to your heritage. A lot of wisdom there. So that's how I would wrap up the astrology weather, the cosmic weather for the next 2 weeks.
Cosmic weather, yes, that is exactly what it is. It's our cosmic weather. Okay, so I'm going to tilt this camera downwards so that we can see the cards.
Yay!
You can look at my boobs for like a second and then Okay, let's see. Where's the?
I'm sure people will enjoy seeing your boobs.
I know. I keep telling my husband that, but he keeps saying no.
You
I'm
keep
telling him,
saying,
I'm like, topless tarot. Just,
oh my God, that is excellent.
it's a both because it's hot as balls and also because, topless tarot.
Or almost topless tarot.
Or almost topless. Like, yeah, just like a bikini, one of the ones that just covers the nipples. Like, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're
Exactly.
using
I was
today the Mystic Mondays. That's upside down. Mystic Mondays Tarot. Because it's pretty, and I'm still waiting for my other cards to get to me. They've already arrived to the P.O. box. I'm just waiting for them to get here.
awesome.
The hardest part. Yes, I just purchased the Star Spinner Tarot and the Angel Tarot that I told you about. Both
Yes,
beautiful
I
decks.
really want to see the Angel Tarot.
Oh,
You guys, you should be really looking forward to that. It's
yes,
so
that's
pretty.
probably going to be
So
one of my
pretty.
go-to decks, to be honest. All right, let's see.
Yes.
I'm going to start with a love forecast for the next 2 weeks. Let's see what we got. It's in here somewhere. We have the Emperor. That's an interesting card. So the Emperor, let's see. Let's get you a little closer. Whoa, there you go. You can see him nice. The Emperor is a very interesting card. I'm going to read from the guidebook because it's too hot, honestly. It is too hot. So the Emperor, we have him in regular. He's not inverted or anything. The Emperor normally, interestingly enough, the Emperor is one of the cards that is under Aries. So he's a very masculine card. He's very much about authority, ambition, and power. Usually power over others or power over certain situations. He is the embodiment of masculine energy in the tarot, basically. That's what the Emperor is. So it says, the Emperor rules with utmost authority, and is the father figure of the tarot deck. He embodies structure and stability, complete with decisive action, to easily manifest ideas in the form of accomplishments and monetary gain. His guidance and his wise words are based on his worldly experience, and he's got the battle scars to prove it. He reflects your ambitious side, where you seek status, success, and recognition. Maintaining your self-discipline, controlling your emotions, and making level-headed decisions will move you forward. The Emperor is a strategic thinker and urges you to carry out plans systematically and in a controlled manner. Embrace your inner warrior. Don't be afraid to step into a role of leadership. You're straight up slaying the game, and nothing will stop you. So basically, when it comes to like love and relationships, I think this is basically the card of all bullshit will end because you want it to end.
Yes.
That's the energy that we're getting from the Emperor. So yeah, it's like any relationship that isn't working for whatever reason, you have all of the energy, all of the stars have aligned just in a way so that it's gonna end because it's gonna end. The steps will fall where you need them to fall. So you're going to be seeing all of the steps that you need to take, and it's just up to you to start taking them. Basically, all of the opportunities are going to open up in such a way that you're going to get these things done. And in the same way, also on the positive, it's not just about all of these negative relationships. Maybe there are things in your relationship that you've been struggling with, and you're like, hey, I see the road ahead. We're going this way. And that's what you're going to be doing. And it could be something, mundane, like, I'm going to make the fucking bed. And you're going to make the fucking bed. Maybe you're
right.
Like, you know what? Mondays is going to be the day that we do the nasty every single week, and that's just the way life is.
Yes.
Now on.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I think that Aries energy is also a lot of sexual energy.
Yes. very dominant.
So a lot of
Because of the
sexy
Emperor.
times
Yes.
up ahead with
Yes.
your
Very likely.
awesome partner.
Like, this is the week where you're going to be able to say the things that you've been wanting to say. That's the feeling I'm getting. So now let's go with
Yep.
finances. Finances. I feel it's on this side. We have the Three of Cups. I think we've had the Three of Cups before.
Yes, we
Yes,
have.
I think the Three of Cups comes up very often when we're talking about finances, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the Three of Cups. It talks about celebration, squad goals. It says squad goals right there.
Squad goals.
Squad goals and community. Every day is a party. Your social life is roaring and festivities spent with quality friends and family. Birthdays, weddings, happy hour, all amazing opportunities to hang with your squad. You're feeling deeply connected to your community, savoring the moments spent together. Harmony flows through your commitments and relationships. Create balance between work and play. The Three of Cups is also about groups of people coming together to work for a common cause. If you're feeling stressed, remember to take some time to relax with your loved ones. Rely on your lady friends to get you through tough times. Let loose. Nothing is too big or too small to celebrate, especially when you're in a good company. Cheers to the love and good fortune in your life. So, when it comes to money, we're going to be okay. Apparently, that's what the card is trying to say. We're good in that department. We're very good in that department right now, this week.
I don't know why that card just like gave me a lot of Jupiter vibe. Like opportunities, prosperity, fun.
Well, this one doesn't have a let me see. No, it doesn't have
like the way you described it, it just was giving me a lot of Jupiter energy.
I think it's a water. These cups are like water, if I'm remembering correctly. They're water cards. So basically, I think this is a good time probably to get to know your coworkers a little bit better. If there's something, at work that you feel like might assist you in becoming more financially stable, or simply getting to know your coworkers may be something that'll help your job be easier and thus make your life better. So I think that's one of the other ideas that we're getting from this card. Okay, the fun card, health. Let's see. We have the Six of Cups inverted. Let me invert it for you. There we go. Inverted. Two cups. That's good. We didn't get a sword this time.
Oh, yes.
So
I was like, bitch, if a sword comes up again.
Okay. So the Six of Cups inverted is rose-colored glasses, idealistic, childhood trauma. The past is coming back to haunt you. That is exactly how it starts. Trapped in time, your unresolved childhood trauma is affecting you and stunting your growth. By living in the past, you're missing out on joyful moments that are right in front of you. Rose-colored glasses skew your perception on what should be versus what reality reflects. Process your past wounds with compassion and loving care. Treat yourself like you were a small child who just wants to be seen, heard, and tended to their needs. Acceptance for who you are versus playing your idealistic self will help you move forward with authentic power. Start the healing process now and turn the tables on time. Take personal responsibility and step into your own potential. Be proud of who you've grown to be, flaws and all. So basically, take care of yourself first. Don't. We're still in a pandemic, is what the card is telling you. Like, we're not out of the woods. We're nowhere near being out of the woods. Like, we have not been for the past who knows how many weeks that we've been doing this.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Also,
Yes.
this is giving me a lot of Neptune energy. Like when I was saying that, um, that the sun is making this difficult connection with Neptune,
Yeah.
where things are not going to be so clear.
Mm-hmm,
We
mm-hmm.
might, we might have some health problems because of overindulgence.
Yeah.
Um, because we are feeling vulnerable. We
Yeah.
are probably feeling like we are that wounded child again. So
Yes.
that might lead to overindulgence of many things. It can
Yes.
be susceptible to mind-altering drugs or alcohol,
Or even
spending
just
too
bad
much,
people. Like bad
food.
people are just as
Yeah, like,
they're a
yeah,
drug as
especially
well.
when you're vulnerable, people, cunning, manipulative people can really sense that and they try to take
Yes.
advantage of you. So such an important time to be careful with our health and the people
Mm-hmm.
that we associate ourselves with.
Yes, I agree with you very much. So, when it comes to our health and things like that, this at least in the next 2 weeks, the exact same thing that we've been saying for the longest time. We have to
Yeah,
take the steps. Take your steps and continue taking your steps, whatever those steps are, to keep you healthy and safe. If it means never leaving the house without a mask and never taking that thing off until you get home, yeah, do that.
that's how it's gonna be.
That's how it's gonna be, because we're gonna be living like this for a very long time. You know, as it said, rose-colored glasses. You can't pretend anymore. We can't act like
Yeah, we
this
want
is
to.
nothing. We
We
really want
want
to.
to. We want
It
to
makes
escape
it
this
feels
reality.
it feels a lot better, but it's just not reality. We're in a really scary time right now. It's not just because of the pandemic. It's not just because of, all the political bullshit that's going on around us. It's a very uncertain time for more than just, health and stuff. Everything is up in the air right now. And not just
Yeah.
in like big first world countries. That effect is trickling down. We're in Mexico. We're sitting right underneath the U.S., so we're seeing everything pretty dang close. And it's scary because anything that happens over there is going to affect us and hard.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like,
Always affects Mexico, especially
yeah,
where we live in a border city,
yes,
where Americans can come in. I'm not saying that they cannot come in because a lot of Americans do have good reason to cross the border because they
uh-huh,
have loved ones and family members here. I understand that. But if you're coming to Mexico to party, fuck you.
yes,
Really fuck you. Stay the fuck home, okay? Just stay the fuck home.
yes. You shouldn't be partying anywhere right now. You shouldn't be going to bars or closed restaurants. Go in, get your food, get out. That's the way that you should be going to restaurants
Yes.
right now. It's just
Yes.
like,
Be considerate towards others. You might not be affected by this, or you don't know that you are being affected by this, but you are putting other people in danger who do not
yes,
have, who are, their immunity system is not normal. They're
yes,
vulnerable
exactly.
when it comes to their immunity. So don't do that to them. Don't
Mhm.
expose them
Mhm.
to danger.
Yes, I know it's difficult, but we have to think about other people when it comes to the things that
Yeah,
we
I think
do.
also, I mean, I know that I'm like always like really straightforward and assertive and aggressive sometimes when it comes to, taking care of ourselves during COVID-19 or everything else. I think I'm always like
Yeah.
that. I would like take a moment of compassion to say that I know how we might feel, especially people who have um, hypertension or any kind of like hyperactive disorder or anxiety. I know it is so difficult to be home and feeling stuck and feeling bored. I completely understand, completely empathize. But now I think it's a time to really find out new ways to keep ourselves engaged in a way that is healthy, that keeps us out of danger and also keeps other people out of danger.
Yes, I agree. It's up to everybody right now to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that this doesn't continue to spread the way that it's been spreading. It's up to us, because the more people that die, well, the more people that die. That's basically it. It's something that can be prevented, and I don't know why we're not doing more to prevent it. Like, I know it's not someone related to you, so why should you care? But
Yeah.
we're all connected. Eventually, it's coming back around. Like, you
Yeah,
don't know who
exactly.
that person talked to, who talks to someone else, who talked to someone else, and all you need is one surviving virus to get
Yeah.
to grandma from that delivery guy who talked to the clerk who talked to someone who was infected. Like, that's the way that it goes, you know? It
Exactly.
transfers. We haven't studied it enough. There hasn't been enough time. We're not
Yeah.
100% sure how it gets from person to person. We're pretty sure that it's, it's pretty airborne and fluid borne. So, something like, all you need is a sneeze and you wipe and then you touch something, all it's
Yes,
necessary.
it's the droplets where
Yeah,
they stay.
the droplets from your lungs, which
So
comes out
how
when
would you how would you like summarize these 2 weeks from what you've seen in the cards?
mm, if we do something. That's the point. If we do something, the week will go well for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that is talking to the coworker that you've been meaning to talk to, or having a conversation with your significant other, having a conversation with that family member you've been meaning to do. You have to do that thing that you've been meaning to do for a while now in order for you to have a good 2 weeks this week, in order to create that movement for the next week's energy to continue to gather until, good things come of it. Because if you don't do anything right now, it's not going to happen. The stars are aligned for only so long for it to be easier. Right now, it's an
Right.
easy time for you to do these things. So if you don't take advantage of it, then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
It,
totally,
it
totally.
reminds me very much. I'm not sure if I told you this story before, but it's a story that I told a while ago in a Facebook group, where it's like, it was a story about God, but you can basically use it for anything. It's like the universe gives you the opportunities that you need at the time that you need it. So the story goes, there's an old man, and he hears on the TV that there's going to be a huge flood. So there's going to be a huge flood, and they're saying, "Oh, everybody has to evacuate. It's going to get really bad, blah, blah, blah." And the old man is like, "No, I don't need to do anything. God will save me." So he turns off the TV. The power goes out, so he only has like his crank radio. And the radio, the dude on the radio is going, "It's getting really bad out there. Anyone who can get out now, get out right now, because it's easiest. It's only barely raining. You can get out." Old man says, "I don't need to do anything. God will save me." A little while later, someone comes knocking at the door. It's a fireman, and the firemen are like, "We're evacuating everybody. We can't take you forcefully. Come with us. You might lose your house. We're not sure, but we encourage you to come with us." And the old man says, "No, I don't need to go with you. God will save me." He closes the door on the fireman. So he sits there in his house all alone, no power, nothing. And, it just keeps raining and just keeps raining. And then, the flood happens. His house gets torn down, and he's hanging on to like a tree for dear life. And there's the flood waters all over, and the rescue helicopter comes down, and they're like, "Sir, take my hand. We'll save you." And he's like, "No, God will save me." And they're like, "Fine." And they leave. And then he drowns, obviously. And then he gets to heaven, and he sees God. And he goes like, "God, why didn't you save me?" And he's like, "I gave you every opportunity. I gave the radio report. I had the firemen come to your house. I even had showed the rescue helicopter where you were. You didn't take You didn't take the initiative to save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's the energy that I feel is going on right now. All of the doors are opening. You have to take the handsome fireman's hand so that he can take you away from this
That is such a brilliant synopsis of what both of us read from the stars and the cards. Absolutely. Like, opportunities are there for you to take. We just have to be perceptive towards it. We just have to, take traditional wisdom, our ancestors' wisdom, and apply them, really. That's the whole energy for the next 2 weeks. After that, there is going to be an equinox, the autumn equinox.
Oof.
There's a whole other energy that will be playing out at that time, and both of us will be there to talk about it. So stay tuned for that. For now, just take opportunities to be calm, to meditate, to be with yourself, to be with your child self, and be perceptive to opportunities. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yes. Right now, it's a time to be perceptive to all of the opportunities because there's going to be a lot. So take the ones that you feel that interest you. Today's the day to make that OnlyFans account. You should.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes.
We encourage
Yes.
you to do it. Show people those pictures of your feet.
Yes, your feet, whatever you want to showcase, whatever feels right. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Do it. So, that brings us to the end of our episode. And I think that we have said what the cards and the stars want us to say. How do you feel about it?
Yes.
All right. So
I'm looking forward to it. Let's do this.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of people doing a lot of interesting things this week. So I'm going to be watching Facebook like real hard.
Yeah, I think artists are really going to have a grand time right now because Venus is in Leo.
Yeah.
It's a grand time for artists.
It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of really great art. I'm sure we're gonna be hearing tell of a lot of really good songs probably. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. Which is good because the last 2-3 weeks has been really empty of like new art. At least from what I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's not been a lot of that kind of energy. So
it has mostly been stress, but now I mean, the stress is now kind of in the background, but it's still there.
It's still there, and it's gonna be there for a while. We're all stressed. So
yeah.
What do we say at the end of every single week? It's your turn.
Maybe I will always value you.
Okay, we can go with that one. And you will always value me.
Yes.
And we will see our wonderful viewers and listeners next time for our story episode.
Yes. Let us know whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Whatever you want us to talk about.
Yes, if you guys come up with something cool before we decide what we want to do, we'll probably do that.
Yeah. Yes.
So we'll see everybody next time.
Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.